Y'all need to stop demonizing parabens in skincare. Parabens serve an essential role in skincare formulas as a preservative, and we've been using parabens for almost a century because they're broadly antimicrobial, really inexpensive, and rarely irritate the skin. A lot of people who are saying that parabens are bad often cite this 2004 study by Darber, which observes the presence of parabens in breast cancer tumors. There are quite a few problems with this study. First of all, it had a very small sample size with just 20 samples, and it didn't have any control samples from normal human breast tissue. Basically, the study failed to establish a causal link between parabens and the development of breast cancer tissue. They also cite a lot of other studies like this one, which claim that exposure to butylparaben causes damage to reproductive development in rats. The problem with studies like this is that these rats are fed very large amounts of parabens orally, whereas we humans are exposed to very tiny amounts of parabens topically. That's a very big difference. The amount of parabens we're exposed to topically is typically really small. For example, in the European Union, parabens are limited to just 0.4% of the formula. Basically, science has yet to definitively prove that exposure to tiny amounts of parabens topically, even if accumulated over time, causes damage to humans. However, this lack of definitive proof that parabens are damaging hasn't stopped people from looking for alternatives, hence the rise of clean preservatives. The problem with these newer clean preservatives is that they aren't as thoroughly tested for stability and efficacy. They tend to have shorter shelf lives and tend to kill a narrower spectrum of microbes, which can sometimes lead to mold growing in your products after just a few months. On top of that, they usually aren't as thoroughly tested for irritation. This isn't to say that clean preservatives are a bad thing, it's just that parabens really aren't as bad as people think they are, and you really shouldn't be scared of seeing them in your formulas. But hey, if you still want to avoid parabens, that's perfectly fine. In fact, here's a list of paraben-free Japanese skincare brands. Avoiding parabens is a personal choice, and we just really want you to be educated and equipped to recognize fear-mongering.